We have the 4-1 Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 2-4, and they stink. The Bengals stink. The Bengals did put up a fight against the Green Bay Packers, but I don't know how good the Green Bay Packers really are, because they might be frauds. But with that said, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat their divisional opponent, and Aaron Rodgers gets his first win against the Cincinnati Bengals as the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe this is the first meeting between these two, unless I'm mistaken, but I definitely think the Steelers are a better team right now, so I'll take the Steelers. They have the better defense, that's for sure. And I think their offense is better, too. I think they're just a better rounded team right now. The Bengals are looking like Dookie to me. Crazy things do happen on Thursday nights, though. We just saw the New York Giants upset the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. We just saw the New York Giants just upset the undefeated Eagles because nobody counts the Denver Donkeys one, because we saw what happened with the officiating in the fourth quarter, where Bo Nix was allowed to throw the football on the ground near no receivers, and he wasn't out of the pocket. I believe he wasn't out of the pocket. Correct me if I'm wrong. And for some reason, the refs just picked up the flag and said, you know what, we work with Vegas. And then the pass interference on Goddard, when Goddard was shoved, when the pass went to his direction, but the football wasn't there, but he was shoved before the football was even there. Like, that was ridiculous. So we know the Philadelphia Eagles were undefeated until they lost for the first time against the New York Giants on Thursday football last week. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about that too, because that game pisses me off. It makes me not like the Broncos, and it makes me not like the NFL, because we just saw rigged games. So, you know, that one pisses me off. And like I say, if you think there's some shenanigans going on in the games with your teams in it, feel free to post comments saying, yeah, this has happened in this game too, because the officiating was awful and they were cheating for Vegas. Let me know. The next game we have is the Los Angeles Rams at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I will take this is a hard one to go with, but I'm going to... I was overseas to boot. The Jaguars, what's their history overseas? I know that, did they win one and lose one? I don't know. They played a couple. Actually, they played a bunch of times overseas, right? This is one of the franchises that, I don't know. I'll go with the Jacksonville Jaguars, just because they just lost a pathetic performance they put up against the Seattle Seahawks. You gotta imagine that they're gonna try to bounce back, and I think they're gonna squeak this one out, probably with a field goal. So I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a very hard game to pick. Next, we have the 1-5 Saints at the Bears, 2-2. Well, Bears are about to be 2-3 because we know they're gonna lose to the Washington Redskins most likely. Oh wait, you can't say that, can you? Well, anyways, I will take the Chicago Bears. It doesn't even feel right to pick them, but I think the Bears are a little bit better than the Saints, so I'm going to go with the Bears. I think that's a safe pick to go with. The Bears do play tomorrow, but, you know, I'm doing these picks early. Miami Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns. I will take the Miami Dolphins. I don't trust the Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns stink on offense, and I just think the chants for Shador is going to get louder and louder and louder. Shador Sanders are going to start chanting him. Shador, Shador. They're going to keep chanting it. We don't want this small midget quarterback right now. Who's it, that small Filipino quarterback they have? That's like, he looks like he's like 5'9" or some shit like that. I think they have him listed at 5'11", but he looks short. I remember when he was sitting, he was right next to Carson Wentz. Yeah, I know Carson Wentz is like 6'7" or 6'6". Carson Wentz is huge, but he looked really tiny. He looks like a tiny quarterback, and I don't trust them in the NFL. And I'm not a big guy either, but I'm just going to talk shit about shorter quarterbacks because I don't like shorter quarterbacks. That's like putting me back there. Like, oh, yeah, let's put somebody who's average height to play quarterback. Like, get the hell out of here. That looks like stupid. Start Shador Sanders. At least Shador Sanders can see over his linemen. Oh! Oh! Yeah, why is Shador Sanders not starting? Is it because he's not, he doesn't fit a certain look or something? I don't understand. What's up with that? Stop that! You're causing controversy. Stop it! Stop it! Yeah, why is that small little Filipino guy starting over fucking Shador Sanders? What's that about? Someone explain it. Actually, I don't know if the guy's even Filipino. What the hell is he? He's something. I don't even know what the hell that guy is. I don't know. He's a little dude. He's a little guy. He's a little guy. You guys got a little guy as a quarterback. I'm going to take Tua over the little guy. Because I think Tua can at least see over his linemen. Isn't Tua at least like 6'1" or 6'2"? Yeah. I don't even know the name of the Cleveland Browns quarterback right now. I just know he's a little man. Little man. We have the... Why are you gonna talk like that? Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, I wonder who's gonna win this game. It's gonna be the Chiefs that just beat the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. That's who it's gonna be, guys. I definitely have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game, but I will say this: I thought the Raiders looked a lot better, but that's because they played the Titans. So. But I think sometimes you get a little groove. I think the Chiefs definitely have to take this game seriously. I think they're going to anyways. It's a divisional game. I can see the Raiders put up a little bit of a fight because divisional opponents know each other very well. But I do think that the Chiefs ultimately win this game. I still think the Chiefs probably win by like at least 7 points. I just think they're the much better team. I think what we just saw in the game against the Lions is that the Chiefs are back and that they've lost very close games to some talented teams like Philadelphia Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the other team they lost to that was talented. Oh yeah, they lost to their divisional opponent, the Las Vegas Chargers, who are also pretty talented. That was their only 3 losses, and that was against really tough opponents. This is not a tough opponent. It's the Las Vegas Raiders, of course, so I'm definitely going with the Kansas City Chiefs. The next game we have is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings. Is Jalen Carter going to be back for this game? I want him back for this game, and I want all our pieces to come back all healthy and strong so we can show that we're not that team that got embarrassed by the New York Giants. Usually when a team gets humiliated and made fun of and people say, hey, they're frauds and they're not legit and they're punks, they usually come back and they bounce back and they win in dominant fashion, or they at least win in a competitive game, whatever. I mean, this is going to probably be a very tough environment. It is Minnesota, but the Eagles, I believe, have won. In recent history, I think we have won in Minnesota. Correct me if I'm wrong. I got to look at the rivalry between the teams. I got to look that up on like Google or something. But I do. At first, when I was thinking about this game, I was thinking I was going to take the Vikings. I thought, oh no, is this a revenge game for Carson Wentz, or is the rookie quarterback going to have this game? Because for some reason they like to have in the script, they like to have the rookies beat the Eagles for whatever reason. Like, hey, the rookie quarterbacks, they get to beat Eagles. It's so funny. Or not rookie, but we would say rookie or younger quarterback guys. You know, if they could, maybe they could throw on the ground and they'll just say, oh well, we're not going to call grounding, like in the Broncos game, right? So the 5-1 Eagles versus the 3-2 Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to take the 5-1 Eagles that only lost to the Giants this year. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. And the next game, we have the Carolina Panthers. 3-3. They upset the Dallas Cowboys, didn't they? And the weird thing about the Panthers is that they're kind of like a much better team. Well, they play much better at home. So the Jets actually have a chance in this game, and the Jets defense looked legit. But the problem is the Jets, it looks like their quarterback situation, and he's just not very good. They have a running back playing a quarterback. I don't know why that is. Why did they pay all that money to a running back to play quarterback position? Who knows? I heard that they paid that guy a lot of money, and he stinks, and he can't throw the football very well. What's his name? Justin Fields. Oh, he's such a great guy, though, so we're going to start him again. Yeah, go, Jets. Keep starting Justin Fields. Keep doing it. Yeah, Jets. Yeah, Jets. Jets, you blew it against the Denver Broncos when you should have upset them. Did you see what happened in that game? Your defense did their job, but the offense didn't do anything because you got a lame duck quarterback you're paying all that money to stinks. Why is Justin Fields shouldn't be starting for anybody, any team? Are you out of your mind? He's stinky. Why did you think Pittsburgh Steelers gave him to you? Like, hey, we don't want this guy. We'll take Aaron Rodgers, the future MVP, who's doing insane and put up some pretty solid numbers with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and is what, 4-1 right now, I believe. Oh, smack! That's how we do it. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers because the Jets know what they are. They know how to lose. That's all they ever do is lose. Woody Johnson, you're not a very good owner. Maybe you should sell the team to somebody who knows what the freak they're doing because the Jets stink. How long has Woody Johnson has had the Jets? Because the Jets stink. The last time the Jets were good was when they had Mark Sanchez, and we see what's happened with Mark Sanchez right now. We don't know if he's the bad guy or a good guy because the media says he's the bad guy who targeted a 69-year-old guy, and Mark Sanchez was allegedly drunk. And you know, the guy that has no criminal record. I know people say Mark Sanchez was with a 17-year-old or blah blah blah. It's not considered like an adult in most states, anyways. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm like, people could drive at 17, and also I think he didn't even know. And I know excuses, well, it doesn't matter if you don't know. You got to make sure to check their fake ID that they'll show you and fool you anyways, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, let me see your ID before we do stuff together, right? That's what people do. Normal people do that, do they? And even if they do, you know they're going to be showing a fake ID or something. But anyways, yeah, that Mark Sanchez, it doesn't have a criminal record, and that just had twins with his wife. That guy, I mean, really? He's the bad guy? I want to see the record. I want to see what history that both those guys have. The 69-year-old and the Mark Sanchez, because the 69-year-old guy is suing Fox Sports that has absolutely nothing to do with what Mark Sanchez is being accused of beating up a 69-year-old. So why is the 69-year-old suing Fox Sports? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. It makes me think that you set that up and, like, you fought the guy and you, like, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't probably even recognize Mark Sanchez out in public, so that guy probably didn't either. But people are always looking for lawsuits, and I don't trust the whole situation. And I would like to know the history of the 69-year-old, if he has any criminal history, because, what is he, a delivery driver? I'm pretty sure anybody can get that type of job, and even if you have a criminal record of some type. But yeah, anyways, I have the loser Jets always losing because they suck. They might go 0-17, and then they might pick a really good quarterback in the draft. But anyways, the Jets are trash. The Panthers, you know, even on the road, I'll take the Panthers because the Jets are the Jets, and they'll always be the Jets. That's nice talk. Why do you gotta talk like that? I think I'm upset because I really wanted the Jets to upset the Broncos because the Broncos, they rigged that game against the Eagles, and they were like, hey, Vegas got to make their money and all this crap, and we're going to let pass interference on Goddard. We're going to let them push Goddard before the football's near Goddard. That's great. And then we'll let Bo Nix throw on the ground, even though we threw the flag out. The refs threw the flag out, but they picked the flag up and couldn't explain why they did it or something like that. So I don't think he was out of the pocket. So why the hell did they pick up the flag? The Broncos should have a loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles should be 5-1 right now. I am still pissed off about it. I'm sorry I just ruined this video, but I'm frustrated because not many people are talking about it still, and it's bullshit because now Tampa Bay's in front of us, and they have the #1 seed, and Tampa Bay looks nasty, and when Tampa Bay gets fully healthy, they're probably going to go to the Super Bowl this year. And it's not going to be my Eagles repeating this year because if the Eagles don't get healthy and get stronger again, we're not going to have that #1 seed because they screwed us out of that Broncos game that the Eagles would have won if they called those penalties. You understand now? That #1 seed is so important. Do people understand how important that #1 seed is? Damn it. I know Detroit had the #1 seed last year and the Eagles had #2, but Detroit was dealing with injuries, and that played a factor of why their performance looked like doo-doo in the playoffs and why they got butts kicked by the Redskins. But the Redskins might have won that game even if they had Aidenson, what's his name, Hutchinson out there, and a couple other players and a bunch of other people on defense. We don't know because we don't know until they actually play each other, you know? You're going to make the assumption, well, no, that means the Lions would automatically beat the Redskins. We don't know that until you play the game, right? That's how it is. You play the game for a reason, right? Anyways, let's move on. We're the 4-2 New England Patriots, who are going to kick the ever-living poop out of the Titans, 1-5. The only win the Titans had this year is against a Cardinals team when the ball was bouncing all over the place, and then the Cardinals player, for some whatever reason, threw the freaking football down at the 1-yard line as if the game was rigged for some reason. I don't know. Why else do players keep doing that? I don't know why. Because didn't one of the Colts players do that too? Why? Why? Are the people on certain teams that are being paid to do like crazy things? Or are they just that stupid? If they're that stupid, I don't want you playing on my team, you know? I'm sorry, I'll cut you, and I'll be like, I'm putting somebody else. I'm putting another receiver here, or I'm putting another running back, because I'm not going to play that game where you're going to do dumb stuff like throw the football down at the 1 yard line because you're trying to celebrate. How about not celebrating the end zone? How about just being happy that you scored a touchdown? What is all this ridiculous crap nowadays? And if you go to a celebration, can they do that, at least the Dragon Ball Z stuff like Kamehameha, or what was it, the touch when they, I forget what it's called, when they do the two-finger touch, I think it is, and they, fusion, that's what it's called. It's called fusion. Do a fusion or something. I think I've seen that happen in college football. That was pretty cool. Or the Browns did it. I forget, somebody did it before. The New England Patriots are going to whip the crap out of the Titans. We already know that. New York Giants are going to lose to the Denver Broncos because the New York Giants are frauds. I mean, they kicked our ass, but you know what? I think the Eagles overlooked them, and also the Eagles were dealing with more injuries than people think, and I know injuries aren't an excuse, but Jalen Carter wasn't out there, so you know what the Giants did? They ran the ball really hard because Jalen Carter wasn't out there, and Jalen Carter is our run stopper. And apparently the Eagles don't have much of a good run stopper. And Jalen Carter's not out there for some reason, because even the Dallas Cowboys looked good against us when Jalen Carter wasn't out there, so they ran the ball against us. But when Jalen Carter's out there, people's run games are just like almost non-existent or very, very weakened. They're like big time weakened. I'm not even speaking fluently now. Now I'm speaking really poorly. But anyways, the Denver Broncos should win this game. I don't have faith in the Giants. Especially I don't have faith in a quarterback that wears those diamonds and stuff like that. I'm cool. Got that diamonds on me. Now diamonds are for chicks. Oh, wait a second. I just offended people that are like, well, Jalen Hurts with those diamond in his earring. I'm not saying that's cool either. It all looks gay to me. It looks fruity. It looks like cupcakes. You know, I'm not all for that stuff. That's weird stuff. I want to be for normal stuff. Oh, you can't say that in this day of age. That's homophobia. Yeah, well, there's things that you don't know about me anyway, so I don't care what people accuse me of. Poopy, 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 poopy. Anyways, I'm gonna go with the Denver Broncos in this game. Yay, Denver! You're gonna go 5-2. You definitely earned all those wins. You definitely didn't have help against the Eagles. You know, when Bo Nix threw the football on the ground near no receivers, and he wasn't out of the pocket because the refs didn't say he was out of the pocket. And it was near no receivers, just like Tony Romo said. And then the pass interference when one of your defenders, I don't know the name of the defender, but he shoved Goddard before the football was there. That's called pass interference. They cheated that game. They cheated. All for Vegas because they didn't want to lose money. I'm assuming all the money was on the undefeated Eagles at the time. Isn't that cute? Thank you, NFL. You think I'm stupid? Not all of us are that stupid. Ooh. We got the 5-1 Indianapolis Colts at the 4-2 Los Angeles Chargers. Who am I going to take in this game? Ooh. I don't think there's really a home field advantage for the Chargers. I think I'm going to go with the Colts. I really am impressed by the Colts this year, guys. And I'm really happy for their fan base because I think this is a shock not just for NFL fans in general, but even their fan base. I don't think was expecting such a great year this year because I've talked to some of the Colts fans, and I'm very happy for them. And I hope Daniel Jones and the Colts could continue to have success because I think it's an awesome story where a team that was not expected to be this great team is playing really lights out, and is one of the top AFC teams this year, and may actually represent in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, people are saying, how could Daniel Jones be in the Super Bowl? Well, he might be in the Super Bowl this year, and there's a good chance the Indianapolis Colts may actually win the Super Bowl this year. I have a lot of respect for the Indianapolis and their Colts and their organization. They did something that a lot of people didn't think they could do, and they got it. And I think they win this game. I don't trust the Chargers. Is the Chargers still having O-line issues? I don't know. All that stuff, but I still think the Indianapolis Colts are one of the best teams in the AFC, if not the best team in the AFC. The next game we have is the Green Bay Packers at the Cardinals, and I'm going to take the Packers in this game, but I'm going to expect this to be a fairly close game. The Cardinals usually put up a fight against teams, and I don't know how good the Packers really are, but I think they should be good enough to beat this team. So I think the Pack. Oh, you know what's funny? The Packers, I believe, Packers have a better record than the Eagles because they screwed my Eagles out of a win against the Broncos. Because now the Packers are, 3-1-1? Or they're 4-1-1? It was just, wait a second. Did this not update? Or no, I guess because they had their bye week. I don't know. But either way, I definitely think. But right now, the record, they only have one loss and one tie, and that's better than my Eagles record because they cheated the Eagles in the Broncos game in the fourth quarter with the pass interference on Goddard and Bo Nix throwing the football on the ground near no receivers. So that's cute. Anyways, I know I keep dwelling on it, but I dwell on it because my Eagles are probably going to lose the number one seed, which I think is really important this year. Because I think if Tampa gets that number one seed, I think nobody's going to beat them in the NFC. I think the hardest place to play is going to be Tampa Bay against that team, especially the healthier they get. Like they've been finding ways to win games when their team's banged up. Like that Tampa Buccaneers team is no joke whatsoever. And, yeah, I'm scared of that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. And I know it's because they had the Eagles' number, but they're starting to have everybody's number now. But, yeah, I got the Packers in this game. And the next game I have the Washington Redskins at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take the Washington Redskins in a fairly close game. They'll probably win by 5 points or more. That's an odd number, I guess you would say. Why would I give that type of weird number? But sometimes teams can get safeties and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm going to give an odd number, like a 5-point victory for the Redskins. And I think it's going to be a very close game, even though that I think the Redskins are the better team. I just think that the Dallas Cowboys, for whatever reason, know how to play Washington. So don't be shocked if the Cowboys end up winning this game and then going back to 500, because that's quite possible. But I'm going to take the Redskins in this game. I think they're the better team. I think they're a better round team. I definitely think their defense is better than the Dallas Cowboys defense, and I think that's going to be a difference in the game. I do worry if this was I'd be more confident like picking the Redskins. I am picking the Redskins in this game, but I'd be more confident with the Redskins victory if this was in Washington. But since it's in Dallas, I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for them in that aspect. But I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins and Jalen Daniels. The Atlanta Falcons at the San Francisco 49ers. You know, I don't know what the Falcons are, but I know that the odds are that you probably win more going against them because that's just the way they are a lot of times, a lot of years in recent times, that if you pick against them, somebody else says that in one of their videos, I forget that YouTuber's name is, but he says if you go against the Falcons, you probably will get a W. And I'm going with the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to bounce back from a loss. Did I pick the Falcons? Did the Falcons play on Monday? Was that against who? Who's that play? Oh, yeah, they did play on Monday night against the Buffalo Bills. Which is funny because I think the Falcons might actually match up well against the Bills, but I still have the Bills winning that game. And I think the Bills will win it, but, you know, I think it's just a weird matchup that could actually, Falcons could be in that game. But in this game, I just think the 49ers will get the job done in San Francisco. It's also going to be a Sunday night game. Well, yeah, that's interesting. But, yeah, I got the 49ers in this game. The next game we have is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Lions, and the Lions are now 4-2, and the Buccaneers are 5-1. And I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are legit. I think they're the scariest team in the NFC. I would not want to play this team. Like, I'm glad the Eagles somehow won that game against them because they came back and it was scary. And I was like, oh my God, is this really happening? We were blowing them out in the first half, and then Tampa came back like the way they did. And Tampa has been banged up lately, but they find ways to win. And I think they might be starting to get some of their pieces back too. And since this is on Monday, this is actually going to be a good thing for Tampa because I think it's going to, they might get more pieces back because I don't know if they got more pieces back against in the 49ers game, but they're definitely going to be a lot healthier in this game. And this is in Detroit, and you know I know Detroit's going to be pissed off that they just lost to the Chiefs, but I don't think it matters because I think Tampa is the best team in the NFC. I would rank. Right now, I'd probably rank it as Tampa's number one. Who would I put for number two? Would it be the Lions? I don't know. It'd be somebody like the Lions, probably. And then, or it could be even the Seahawks. Seahawks are up there, too. And I don't know where to put my Eagles, because I don't know what my Eagles are, but I would definitely rank Tampa Bay as the best team in the NFC right now. I don't even know how we beat the Buccaneers, to be honest. That was almost a lucky. We just match up against everybody matches up bad against the Bucs. They just find ways to beat teams. And I think previously, was the last game these two teams played, was it in the playoffs or was it in a regular season game? I think the Lions won, but I think it was competitive. I think this is almost like a Baker Mayfield like revenge type game where he really wants a W against the Lions. And yeah, I think Tampa's the best team in the NFC. Does everybody else agree with that? I think they're the best. I'm going to take them in this game. I think it'll be close. It'll probably be like by a field goal, but I trust Baker Mayfield and Tampa over Jared Goff and the Lions. I meant Jared Goff. Why would you say Jared Goff? Because he's goofy looking. He almost looks like that actor. What the hell is that actor's name? You know the actor, the one from that movie, the love movie, the romantic one. I forget what that movie was called. I forget what that actor's name is. You know what actor I'm talking about? Jared Goff looks like him, though. Houston Texans at the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with the... I'm going to go with Seattle because they're at home. But I'm not confident in this pick at all. Because I could see Houston going in there and definitely getting the upset. But I think Seattle's going to be the favorite. But Houston's defense is really good. I questioned Houston's offense. I know they just blew out the Ravens, but the Ravens' defense is really terrible. Now the Texans are going to go against a good defense, and I think I have to go with Seattle just because of that. But I wouldn't have a problem if Texans prove me wrong. Because it helps out the Eagles if the Seattle actually loses this game. Because Eagles still have to fight for that number 1 or number 2 seed spot. So, yeah. But anyways, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. This is the coolest thing in the world. Yes, I don't know what I'm talking about. Ha 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 ha. Ew.